Hi, if you're unfortunate enough to be watching this video, welcome back. I'm going to be talking about Love and Monsters and my opinion on the movie, and that's about it. So I hope you're here to enjoy that. Love and Monsters is a fairly new movie. I think it came out this year, and it is about the world basically experiences a monster apocalypse, and monsters just came out of nowhere, and these monsters seem to be based off of already existing creatures in nature. There's this one monster that looks like a snail, but just huge, and obviously it's made of tree looking stuff instead of a shell. So these monsters just come out of nowhere, and the US government nukes the shit out of them, and humans are forced to live underground. And I think they explained that 5% of the human race is left after all of that happened, and we're following the story of Noel, who has been living underground in what's known as a colony in this universe. And a colony is an underground bunker with a group of people in it. There's multiple colonies, and we come to learn some fall, some don't. So that's the basic premise of the movie. That's how it started. The movie opens with Noel sleeping, and he wakes up to his colony mates doing the devil's tango, and we just learn that there's not really much privacy in these colonies, and time goes on and they get attacked, and a monster gets inside the bunker, and we find out that Noel is not really the bravest person out there. They put it that he is a freezing problem, which is fine. So we get a bit of character development there on Noel. I don't actually know how to make this without including spoilers in it, but I'm assuming that's a given. But Noel decides to leave the bunker in search of a girl who lives 80 miles away from his colony, and I think about 20 minutes into the movie he leaves the bunker, and we find out that nature has basically taken back its world. The cities are run down, there's hedges everywhere, like the whole world is just green, and apparently the most treacherous thing ever. And we run into a dog. Soon after running into the dog, we run into a monster. We run into two more survivors who are living on the overworld, and we basically just find out that it's not really impossible to live in the overworld. Humans are just hiding underneath. And yes, Noel meets two people, one of them being Yondu. So I think he's fine. I don't think he's going to suffer in the overworld. So we learn more about the monsters. These two people are very well versed in the overworld, and they teach Noel what each monster does, which ones to not deal with, which ones are dangerous. And we get told that one of the monsters, you can tell when a monster is evil by looking into its eyes. Now obviously this is going to be a callback later in the movie, but eventually they they leave each other. They can't stay with each other for the whole movie, so Noel goes off on his own, and they have a little scary moment where the dog might get eaten, and they call back to some of the stuff that he was taught by the two people in the overworld, and he gets to this girl's colony after 7 days. And this is where I kind of started not enjoying the movie. I know it's called Love and Monsters, it's kind of implied in the title, but my favourite part of the movie was all of the monsters. There wasn't really a love story. It was kind of all one-sided, in my opinion. We kind of just get flashbacks to this one summer fling that Noel had with this girl. We don't even see that they're in a proper relationship. It just looks like a summer fling, and he's travelling 7 days across the overworld to see her, and they do call back to this when he gets to the colony. She kind of tells him, okay, that's kind of creepy, and he's like, yeah, I should have asked if you wanted me to come. But it all works out, because if he wasn't there, her whole colony would have died, because plot twist, there's an army man, bad guy there, who's there to steal their food and kill them, because he has a yacht, and this yacht is being pulled by a giant crab monster who he shocks, and he drugs all of the colonists, and they all wake up and they're about to be eaten. Movie happens and Noel is about to kill it, and he looks into its eyes and he knows the creature isn't dangerous, so he doesn't kill it. He kills the guy with the gut button, and the monster leaves them all alone, destroys the boat, happy ever after. Noel goes back to his colony mates, That's the synopsis of the movie. Now I'm going to talk about what I liked and what I didn't like. The first thing I liked is that the CGI was pretty solid. Like, the monsters, the designs were cool. They looked really, really good. I thought each monster was pretty unique and had an interesting gimmick to it. So there was at least monsters in the Love and Monsters movie. The acting, in my opinion, was good and believable. I wholeheartedly believed every story each character was trying to sell me. Dylan O'Brien, I believed that he was petrified of these creatures, not that he was freezing, not that he was pretending to freeze. I also really liked the world that was created. I thought that it was really interesting and well made. I would love to see more of this world in like future movies, and for them to delve into different creatures, and is there different creatures in different countries. Like, I think it would be so interesting to see more of these people and these characters. I'm sorry to tell you, but that about wraps it up for all of the good things that I have to say about the movie. While I did enjoy it, I do think the story was annoying as a whole. The story happened because of a girl. He decides to travel for 7 days for a fling. And love is in the title. It's called Love and Monsters for a reason. However, the love story they tried to sell us is kind of flat and underdeveloped because it's just a summer fling. He travelled 7 days for a summer fling. It's ridiculous. It's unbelievable. Like, at least try and sell us a better love story if you're going to put love in the title. Around the halfway mark of the movie, we meet two characters who are living in the overworld, and these two characters are teaching Noel all of the things he needs to know about this new world they're living in. And right as they're starting to like develop and get good, they're like, okay, our paths are gonna diverge now, so it was good meeting you, and they basically disappear off the screen almost as quick as they appeared on screen. I would have loved to see more of those characters interacting with each other and interacting with more monsters. I think time that was spent on this half-assed fling of a love story, that time could have been spent on developing the trio. Like, maybe love doesn't have to be with a girl, maybe it's with this new trio of people that he's come to spend time with, or even his colony. Like, it could have even been his colony, because he left them to go for a girl that was just a fling. So I don't know, man. So movies, and we end up in the girls' colony, and I think there's still like half an hour to 40 minutes left at this point, if I'm remembering right. And there's a guy there who's very clearly a bad guy, and he knocks out everyone, and movie finales and it doesn't even matter that this girl's colony is getting attacked, because we're seeing, so like, the whole colony is tied up, the girl, Dylan O'Brien, and the rest of the colony, but we don't even know their names. I think we know Stinky Pete, I guess. Oh no, Stinky Pete is gonna die. Like, they didn't develop these characters at all, so why should it matter if they get killed? Why does it matter what happens to them when they didn't spend any time developing this colony at all? All we've seen is that Dylan O'Brien realised he was in the wrong for travelling 7 days, and that he needs to go back to his own colony where they actually want him. Like, it would have been completely different if this creature attacked his colony instead of the girls. I don't know how they'd probably have to change a couple of things about the plot in order to get that to happen, but it just didn't. There was like zero stakes in the finale, because it all took place at this love interest's colony, which wasn't even a love interest. There was no love between them. They had a fling 7 years ago. Oh no, her colony's getting attacked. What about character number 4? Like... So this video was very mediocre. I hope you enjoyed watching. I hope I enjoyed editing. I'm really enjoying this type of video, so I think next time I do this I'm going to write a script and try and just make it better. I'm going to not post next week. I think I'm going to post every 2 weeks instead of every 1 week. Don't forget to follow me on my social media, which is at the end of the video, which is now. Thank you for watching.